everyone, welcome to Urban U. I'm Tina Beth Pena.
And I'm Ari Goldberg.
And today we're bringing you the very best stories of the year from right here at Kingsborough Community College.
This campus is one of 25 that are part of the City University of New York. And from all these campuses come students and teachers from all walks of life with fascinating stories. We look back over our past season to find you some of our favorites to show you one more time.
In the first episode of the season, we met Annie Cephala, whose life was turned upside down when she was falsely accused of sexual misconduct and lost her job as a high school principal. Little did she know that the path to clear her name would lead her to earn a degree at the CUNY School of Law. Abby Ashola has the story.
The day I got arrested, I was dressed much like I am now. I was dressed like I was a professional on their way to work. The officer who was assisting me, he said, you know, I don't mean to say this with any disrespect, but I just want to say that I've worked in this precinct for many years and I've never arrested a person that looks like you. I've never arrested a white woman before. My name is Annie Cephala Goldsmith. I'm a mom and a wife, and I also am attending CUNY Law School in their evening program, and I am in my last semester of school. I was working as a principal at a New York City public school. It was my dream job. I, one day, was removed from my job because the New York City tabloids were running a story that was given to them by one source, and the source happened to be my very angry ex-boyfriend I was in an abusive relationship with, and I left. And after leaving that relationship, he went to the media and to my supervisor and told them really obscene and terrible details about alleged misconduct, that I was having sex with coworkers and parents of my students and using my school for these encounters. And once those allegations made the media, I was removed from my job.
Cephala's arrest happened after her ex-boyfriend alleged that she violated an order of protection he took out against her. As she sat in jail, she met several women of color who claimed they were wrongfully accused of various crimes. One by one, her fellow cellmates were taken to face a judge to plead guilty or not guilty. Cephala, on the other hand, was released with her arrest record fully expunged.
I was the only person in that jail cell with a private attorney. But do you think I was the only person who wasn't guilty of the crime that I was being charged with? It's not very likely. But I was the one who got plucked out and didn't have to go through the rest of that terribly demeaning and traumatizing process of having to go plead your case. It was like a bright highlighter, you know? It was just like emphasizing the privilege that I had and the way that I was being viewed differently and treated differently because of I can only guess, because of my skin color, because of how I presented. It's not just white privilege, it's wealth privilege.
As of October 2016, the National Registry of Exonerations listed 1,900 defendants who were convicted of crimes they were later cleared of. 47% of those wrongfully accused people were African American. That's 3 times their representation in the overall population.
And all I could think about was those women that I'd left behind in that jail. The Department of Education had no interest in helping me get back to where I was, even if I had been a really stellar employee. That once a photo of me in my underwear had made it to the tabloids, even though it was clear that I had been set up and that photo had nothing to do with my job or nothing to do with me as a principal.
The DOE investigated and found that Cephala was indeed a victim of revenge porn. But still, she says, the education department forced her to leave her position.
My union rep told me that I should probably just change my name and move to another state because I was up against the New York media and I was up against a very powerful New York City government entity. And I'm glad I didn't listen to that advice. I thought attorneys were corrupt and part of the problem. But I had a really, private attorney that I was close to and who advocated for me. And he said to me, you really ought to think about law school. And then he arranged for me to come to CUNY Law for a visit, and I saw this world that was completely not what I expected about a law school. It was, most of the faculty were women, the student body was extremely diverse, the coursework was all about empowering marginalized communities, and it was just like they were speaking this language that was my language. So my goal upon graduation is to be a civil rights lawyer. My particular interest right now is in employment discrimination, and how important it is to have people advocating for people who are either discriminated against when they're trying to look for jobs or terminated for unlawful reasons. And race and gender and class are really embedded in all of that, and I find that really exciting.
Cephala filed a lawsuit against the Department of Education for gender bias. She was represented by Carrie Goldberg, an attorney who's become popular for tackling revenge porn cases. The case was settled out of court in September for an undisclosed amount.
You know, being able to put myself through law school so that someday I can be that same type of advocate for other people is really the most exciting part of this story for me.
Abby Ashola for Urban U.
The history of CUNY as a New York institution goes back over a century, and each month we share with you another story from the university's past in our For the Record segment. Here's another look back at one of our most famous alumni, especially timely now.
Vaccines are considered one of the greatest public health achievements in human history. It's easy to take for granted these few little shots as a child, but it's estimated that 2 to 3 million deaths are prevented every year. So, with flu season in full swing, we thought it would be interesting to take you back to a time before all the vaccines we have now, and how a City College graduate, Jonas Salk, came to the rescue. In the 1950s, this is the Cold War, outside of communists, polio was about the scariest thing that could happen in your neighborhood. Polio is a nasty virus that can result in permanent paralysis and death, and the infection rates in the US were over 20,000 annually. In the epidemic of 1952, it was 58,000, with 3,200 deaths. Jonas Salk was the son of Russian Jewish immigrants and the first of his family to attend college. It was a time when many universities were reluctant to admit Jewish students, but he was able to enroll in City College as a 15-year-old. Upon graduating in 1934, he would go into the field of medical research. And in 1955, Salk developed the first effective polio vaccine and instantly gained celebrity status worldwide as other countries adopted his vaccine. From that 58,000 cases in 1952, by 1961, only 161 cases were reported in the US. Experts estimate that the vaccine could have been worth $7 billion if patented. But despite accolades from President Eisenhower, awards, and his own research institute, Salk remained grounded as a dedicated public servant. When asked by journalist Ed Murrow who owned the vaccine patent,
"Who owns the patent on this vaccine?"
Well, the people, I would say. There is no patent. Could you patent the sun?
And since 1955, every year City College has honored this favorite son's legacy with the Jonas Salk Scholarship, awarded annually to 8 outstanding graduates in the medical field.
Imagine being 20 years old and being recognized internationally as a poet. York College's Cameron Bruno is that person. The Tobago, New York-raised student has just been named New York City's Youth Poet Laureate of 2019. It's an amazing story we just had to revisit.
The transition from moving from New York to Tobago was hard for me because I was young and I was just getting acclimatized to what New York had to offer for me. And English literature was one of those subjects that was mandatory. You had to pass it, you had to do it. So I was forced into being creative, writing letters and writing stories and writing poems. My first school slam was in 2015, and I thought that my poem was on fire, and I thought it would have won, and I didn't place.
And it starts all over again.
And then I went back to the school slam in 2016. And then I placed second. I got straight into the semifinals, and then I made it into the finals. And then I became the winner of the champion of the First Citizens National Poetry Slam. And I was only 17. I was the youngest poet to ever win that slam as of today. I was the middle passage between dirt and a foreign land, between land and a foreign land. The water between continents became a second home to me. I am the immigrant. Why did I move to New York? I thought about the opportunities that need to come. I thought about the accomplishments or the criteria that I would need to have a better life for myself. And CUNY was the place for me to have that experience. I have access to almost all the schools, which makes it easier for all of these youths to come together and be a CUNY collective in literary arts and visual arts, and all of these arts coming together. So the New York City Youth Poet Laureate is the person who would be the ambassador for poetry and civic engagement in New York City. They would have different speaking opportunities and performing opportunities in a political scene and a social scene. And I was hesitant to apply because I didn't want another failure. But then I applied, then I was a finalist. So I was like, okay, let's start over.
You didn't protect yourself. Don't tell me that I didn't warn you about the plague, about political parasitism in this society. Don't tell me. You didn't know that you're an host organism, that they depend on you. Touché.
CUNY is important to me because in the last year, they showed me how important my voice is. And so I think that's like a very big achievement for CUNY as well, to have youth that represents the entire New York City when CUNY is like the City University of New York. That's kind of cool. So never be afraid to stand your ground. Use the indentations already. One of the main goals for me is to give back to Tobago, paying homage to what they have done for me and making sure that the trip or the road for anybody else who wants to follow in my footsteps, they have an easier process than what I had. So strive to see the person you see in the mirror and look at your body and see how powerful it is. And just like our body, know that when many things come together in harmony, there's bound to be success, physical and mental integrity, life and safety. From the sole of your foot to the crown of your head, know that your body has known to move and fight a long time ago.
You never quite know what you're going to run into on campus. And today at Kingsborough Community College, we ran into cartoonist and college assistant extraordinaire Kenley Dillard, drawing Ari, being Ari. Let's take a break.
Not bad, right?
That's very cool.
That's very cool. Crime dramas like Law & Order have been a New York City institution for decades, but ripped from the headlines doesn't always show the full story behind New York City crime investigation. Because behind the police procedurals are the stories you don't see all the time. Like this one from John Jay, a scientist who studies insects at crime scenes.
One of the reasons why I got into this field is being able to kind of be the bug whisperer. There's not a lot of people that understand and can interpret what the insects tell you in an investigation because they do tell a story, and a lot of times they're overlooked. You know, people lie. The bugs don't really lie.
This bug whisperer is Jennifer Rosati, assistant professor at John Jay College and forensic entomologist. Entomology is the study of insects. Forensic entomology is studying insects for criminal investigation, and it's not a job for everybody.
Do I take the work home? Absolutely. There has been many times where I have taken the work home with me. I have traveled on the subway with maggots in my pockets. Yes, I have. And for the most part, working in the city is great because people mind their own business. They really do. I mean, they might go, oh, something smells over here, but then that's it. And trust me, there's been worse smells on the subway than anything that I bring into it.
When I hear forensics, and I think a lot of people hear forensics, they're thinking Law & Order and CSI. Is that what this is really about?
So forensic entomology is primarily used in homicide investigations, but that's not the only use for it. Insects can be very helpful when you're looking at the agricultural industry. There's a lot of insects that can infest those grains. So the source of that contamination and finding where that contamination occurred. And then with respect to urban entomology, a lot of times you're dealing with pest species. So you can deal with termites and their feeding activity that can potentially disrupt the structure of a house or of a building. All of that would fall underneath forensic entomology as well.
But the bread and butter is indeed homicide investigation. It may seem a little morbid, but you can figure out when a body died based on understanding the life cycle of the insects that have grown on it, specifically the life cycle of the blowfly.
Well, believe it or not, you encounter blowflies all the time. When you're walking your dog in the summer and it decides to take a you-know-what, chances are if you stay around in that area for a few minutes, you're gonna see blowflies. And they lay eggs on a dead, decomposing resource. They can lay eggs within minutes of death. And so by looking back at their developmental cycles and the temperature at which the crime occurred, you can work back to try and figure out when those eggs were laid. And in ideal situations, and in most situations, that time that egg was laid corresponds very tightly to the time of death. A lot of times we take a live sample and we bring it back to the lab and re-rear it. And what that means is that we want it to continue its development so that we have an adult emerge out so we can determine what species we're dealing with.
Unlike the investigations on TV, according to Rosati, it can take weeks or even months to identify an insect, rearing the eggs in the lab until they hatch and grow. And one thing they don't show you on TV is that in order to understand the bugs at a crime scene, it means always keeping a lot of bugs on hand to study in the lab. Like a lot of bugs.
So a typical day in the lab is actually doing research. For me, it's either teaching or it's supervising students, checking in on their research, rearing flies, meaning we've got colonies that need to be taken care of, so we need to make sure the adults are fed, the larvae are fed, they're happy. I always tell my students a happy maggot means that you've got a happy supervisor.
To be sure, day to day it is indeed more research than it is Law & Order. Rosati assists on about 2 to 3 cases per year at this point in her career, so it's not all morbid. And Rosati keeps it all in perspective.
The person at home that's watching and thinking, oh my God, I'd never be able to do this, and I would say this job isn't for everybody. But to me, insects are beautiful. You put them underneath a microscope, you see the shine to them, especially the blowflies, and also there's an important aspect to it. Somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to play with maggots, somebody's got to play with dead bodies and pick the bugs off the dead bodies, and that just so happens to be me. So it isn't for everybody, but I enjoy it.
We were inspired when we met 60-year-old Dorothy Levy from BMCC, who was one of 55,000 CUNY graduates, which is a crazy large number. Getting her diploma was a dream come true, and Marie-Ève Almy has this remarkable story.
My name is Dorothy Levy. I'm 68 years old. I feel much younger. I had difficulties during my first grade year. And I guess that the teacher I had did not recognize these problems. Imagine, 60 years ago, no one spoke, I think, about learning disabilities. Her verdict was that I was not going to be able to finish high school. And that set in deep inside me. So I said, I will finish high school, but that's it. Then I will start working, and I will never go to college because I won't be able to make it.
60 years later, not only did Dorothea make it, she was valedictorian of her class and was asked to speak on graduation day. which happened right after our interview.
I want to prove to myself that this afternoon, when I am talking to this immense audience, I will not feel as scared to open my mouth as I did 60 years ago. So they asked me if I would be needing a step stool today. And I said, no. I grew taller at BMCC. I'm glad they left one anyway. My parents escaped Nazi Germany. I left Argentina because of the repression. I moved to Venezuela, where my 3 children were born. And I left Venezuela with my daughter and my 2 grandchildren because of the dire situation there.
After starting over in so many countries, it was finally Dorothea's chance to get back to her education. But Dorothea recalled her first day at BMCC not being easy.
My daughter came with me up until the doors at BMCC on Chambers Street. When I saw the amount of students walking in, everyone with a sense of purpose, of course I was extremely scared and insecure. And I said, I can't make it. And so she told me, this is the United States of America, you have a voice. Each one of you, my classmates, impressed me with your empathy, your kindness, your openness. Not a single one of you asked me, what are you doing here? Or just, how old are you? My 3 children studied, 2 of them in the United States and 1 in Europe, at very distinguished institutions. And they were so happy to hear the amazing experience that I had at BMCC. There's 2 secrets, though: hard work and determination. And if you do not have people right next to you that are willing to support you, contact me. Don't let age be your cage, is what I say. The day I stop learning, I won't be alive anymore.
For Urban U, I'm Maria Vamy.
That's our show for today. For more information on what you just saw, check out our website at tv.cuny.edu or take a look at our Urban U Facebook page.
Finally, we're going to leave you with one of our favorite campus creators from this past season, featuring some of CUNY's most talented artists. For your listening pleasure, Baruch's a cappella group, Blue Notes.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next season. Bye-bye.
Hi, we're Blue.
You think I'm stupid? You think I'm going crazy? You think I'm helpless? My algebra gonna do and turn. You think I'm calling? You think I'm calling out your name every night? Girl, I am falling for you.
What you say?
Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Oh, me and genius, love a woman like she. Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Oh, me and genius, love a woman like she. He's a genius, 'cause I love a woman like you.